Torgerson with ArmorCode here for another Let's Talk ASPM podcast. Today we're live here in the booth, literally at RSA Conference 2025. I've got Mark with me, I've got Rohan with me. We've been seeing a lot of sights and sounds, but it didn't start here at RSA. It actually started earlier this week at our Purple Book Community Connect event. So Mark, you were at the event. In fact, you spoke for one of the sessions. There were 3 sessions in total. Tell us about the event. What was it like? The sights, the sounds, the smells, everything.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Dana. And yeah, it's been a hectic week, hasn't it? I mean, like really, that Monday we kicked off and we started running. PBC Connect, it was a little over 150 security leaders there. It was a truly phenomenal opportunity to share stories. There was a book signing. We had our own Alex East signing his book for cybersecurity for seniors.
Folks, you got to check that book out, folks. It's available on Amazon, and it's literally helping folks, our parents, as they're aging in place. And it's actually written out and published in a large print edition too. We're giving out signed copies here at the booth, just as a side note. But it was wonderful to see all these authors focused in cybersecurity right there at Purple Book.
Yeah, we had Brooke, we had Cassie, we had Tanya was there for a while as well.
That's right, yeah.
So it was like fantastic. So check out that online. 150. The panels were tremendous. I was fortunate enough to be on the first one, which was AI in AppSec.
Yeah, that's right.
And we talked about kind of like, we had Oz from Fortinet, we had Daraj from NetApp.
Yep.
He was moderating the second
that's
session.
Right, yeah.
We had Gaurav from S&P.
S&P Global,
And then Pierre from Delineate. So it was a phenomenal panel. Very much, of course, they all brought the practitioner view, right? So what are they seeing? What's exciting? And then I did the kind of like the vendor view, right? It's like what are we seeing as real world applications of AI in AppSec? Because let's face it, we've been talking about this for a little while.
True.
This year is the year of Agentic AI, and I think when we do our other podcast, just to tease it a little bit, when we talk about RSA, RSAC, the actual core conference, we'll get into that. So that was the first one. Great conversations there. Second was Women in Cyber. And Cassie was on that as well.
Led by Habibe.
Habibe from Customer Success and ArmorCode. We had Johnson Controls. We had Stryker, Tiana from Stryker.
Yes.
And Jyoti from NetApp as well. And it was really, really inspiring us that, the conversation was deep and it was meaningful, covering many different areas around cybersecurity, but also how they had their journey to cybersecurity as well. So very inspiring for many of us in the room.
I actually appreciated getting to see them coming together, because we did the International Women's Day webinar earlier this spring. Great opportunity, but again, it's over a webinar, it's over Zoom, to be present and to have these leaders come together. What an awesome, amazing feeling.
It was phenomenal. And then of course, at the end, it was securing at the speed of AI, right? So we had Microsoft, we had Phil Venables from Google Cloud, we had our own Karthik Swanam, who did the ArmorCode CISO, and led by Vijay from KPMG.
That's right.
And that was a great conversation, because really you get to see, Microsoft and Google, they see it at a different level than the rest of us do, right?
True.
Because of course they've got a different scale, they've got a different depth of analysis, they see a lot more, especially Google as they're expanding out what they're doing in the security space. So that was also very inspirational and deep as well. It was like a great conversation to get into. Did we record them? I can't remember if the sessions
yes, all sessions were recorded, and we're going to make them available for playback later. I can't wait to actually see it, and then to be able to share that with more folks who might not have been able to make it on the Monday of RSA week.
I was surprised. Last year, PBC Connect that we did last year, it was like we filled the room. This year it was standing room again. I don't know if you noticed. There was like a handful of little seats available. Nobody wants to sit next to everybody else.
Exactly.
Even though COVID's totally done.
True.
But we had standing room only. We had great partnerships as well. We had folks from SemGrab, Bright
Security was there in the house with brightly colored jackets.
So it was a great event. Truly phenomenal, and a lot of practitioners, right? A lot of people learning.
It's a good question, Rohan. If you wouldn't mind, give us a little bit more detail into the community as they come together, and the conversations that you might have had with some of the practitioners in the room there in general.
Absolutely, right? And we always talk about power of community, and that has been true more than anywhere else than the application security space. But at the same time, I'm really proud of this niche that we have developed around the Purple Book community as well. I got to spoke first-hand experience with a lot of seasoned application security professionals. At the same time, I was also glad to see a lot of newer entrants and new people in this profession, in this domain, right? Some of them were had worked, some of them were fresh out of their college and graduated, but they were all eager, right? They were all eager to learn. I got to speak to a lot of them. When I spoke to the seasoned leaders, right? The theme was more or less similar. While you still have the application security challenges of traditional aspects, but AI was on top of their mind, as always. But not only in the ways that they thought they perceived AI as a threat, as a risk, but also as an opportunity as well.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yep.
they were all very open to how AIs could be leveraged in their own workflows, in their own processes, to kind of become more efficient, right? And that's what all of us want to do.
Yeah.
And the theme was quite clear from all the conversations that I think a lot of us had, and of course I had personally as well.
That's amazing. And one other thing that I've noticed at the event and also walking the halls here, and we'll get to that later for RSA, there's a lot of, and I got to see it a bit at B-Sides on Saturday, asking group after group in the sessions that I was emceeing, is this your first B-Sides? And the hands would shoot up, about half the room. Here in the hallways at RSA and on the streets of San Francisco, hey, is this your first PBC? Is this your first RSA? Hands are shooting up, like, yeah, this is the first time I've been here. So I don't know if that means that we maybe turned a corner for our community, for AppSec, that there's new blood and new bodies coming in to help that gap that needs to be bridged in cybersecurity and in app security.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's, just talks to the vibrance of the industry, right? I mean, there's like,
True.
We talk about the dearth of resources that we have available. We talk about the rising complexity of the problem and the challenge. And I'll say this is like the most vibrant that RSAC has been since COVID, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like, it
that's
was
true.
packed here.
It's back, yeah.
And again, it talks to the vibrance, it talks to the relevance. I think the next kind of like generation coming into that is going to bring new approaches to solving the problems as well.
New approaches probably steeped in AI.
AI on everything. Yes, yeah. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
In that podcast, that's for sure.
Well, I think that's it for today. Rohan, thank you very much. Mark, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you, folks, for another Let's Talk ASPM podcast. Like, subscribe, follow us out on all the places. Have a great rest of this week, folks.